Good afternoon, traders. This is Mark Anthony with Mercury Time Price Analytics with your ES Futures Trading Midday Update for Friday, 12/27. So ES went up and tested our Mercury band upper extension last night, 32.51. Usually ES will go up to these things and stop to the tick. This is the first time in a while it traded a little bit higher, and then we got this action this morning. But let's rewind a little bit and show you what the chart looked like this morning. I'm going to try and post pre-open videos. We had a little bit of a technical issue today, so let's go back and recap. Before the morning starts, our subscribers get the Mercury Dynamic Pivots data sheet. These are run a couple hours before the open, and they show all the different levels. We've got price oscillators, tick oscillators. These are all based on a time price formula. And so you've got your trend confirmation pivot, you've got your momentum trigger, momentum baseline, and those are these two little areas here. Now, the term trend baseline, it's not a trend baseline in the sense that you would normally think, because this is a very short-term level. It's not real solid. Price will break out of it. The idea with the trend baseline and the trend momentum trigger, and the reason we have them in a similar dashed white line, is because this identifies the opening spill range, the battle zone that ES is going to fight over in the beginning of the day. And this will tell you whether ES is spilling up or spilling down. In this case, it's spilled down. So this morning, our traders got the data sheet, and this is what the charts looked like this morning. And I'll show you this at a couple of different zoom levels. This is the wide zoom. And again, I mention this on every video. These are not hand-drawn pivots. These are all mathematical formulas based on time and price metrics, our proprietary time price metrics, and it lays these pivots on the chart as well as anybody could draw them with a pencil and a ruler. And let me give you a little bit closer view. There we go. And so we can see that ES went up here to 32.54 last night, and then when it started the day, it came right back into the trend momentum trigger. And what we do is, after our formulas create these levels, we dump it into a spreadsheet, and then the most important part is I take these levels and I overlay them on the chart as horizontal lines, so you have a visual aid that shows you where these levels are. The whole idea of what our system does is we've got an automated algorithm for trade entries long and short, and you'll see that in a minute. And then our risk management tools are utilized by these horizontal pivots that you see on the screen. Those pivots, those are designed to give you an aid in the most optimal place to take profits, and I'll show you that in just a minute. And we'll zoom in just a little bit lower, and here you can see the area defined as that morning spill range, trend momentum trigger, and trend baseline. So let's take a look at the chart action. So here we open up, and that was the open right here. And when we get this crossover, these white dashes cross down through the cyan line, then that's the entry signal. So the first bar where those little white dashes cross through the cyan, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out the trade entries. It's visual, and for our subscribers, they get this live chart right on the screen. We run a live chart on Zoom. We give you a new access code every day, and so you could see this thing setting up even before the market opened. But once it did, right on the opening bar, you got this sell signal inside the little shaded oval. So immediately it breaks through the trend baseline, and it comes down here. Now, if you watched any of our previous videos, I mentioned that one of the things we do that is completely unique is that our proprietary time price algorithms, we've identified relationships between different price levels, and you'll see that over here on this chart. These levels that are in orange, the trend confirmation pivot, the backtest pivot, the swing trend pivot. Those three levels all have a mathematical relationship with one another, as do the two acceleration pivots in purple, as do the price trend change warning pivot and the tick trend change warning pivot. But look where this stopped, to the tick. Stopped right here at the trend confirmation pivot, which is 32.38.34, and then right below that is one of our Mercury bands. Now, these Mercury bands, we do these at the end of the day based on RTH close data, and these are layer after layer after layer, these algorithms that create the Mercury bands. Look back at hours, days, weeks, months. And so when price gets into one of these levels, you will routinely see price stop to the tick. I mean, that's not to the tick, that's to the penny right there. Now, here's how you pull all this together. So you got two things happening on the screen. You have our automated oscillator, and these are based on time price metrics. This isn't just some type of simple moving average crossover. You had your entry here. So these horizontal pivots help you find the ideal places to take partial profits. So you're short at 32.50.50. Where are you going to take your partial profit? Right here. You didn't have to guess at it. It came down to the tick. It went through the trend confirmation pivot just by a fraction of a handle, stopped exactly at the Merc band upper extension number 1 at 32.37.92, and that's where you take your partial. Now, since that time, ES has traded back up into the trend baseline, and it's given a little bit of a resistance. It's looking like it wants to roll over just a little bit. But unless these white dashes cross back up through that cyan line, the system is still short. So we'll see what happens in here. I don't know how much the bears have. I fully expect this to find some support down in here, and they might try and take it up again. But the beauty of this whole system is you've got a live chart that shows you the trade entry visually. White dashes cross from above down through the cyan line. It's a short. If we go back couple of days, white dashes cross up through the cyan line, it's a long. So, I mean, would you like to have gotten long at 32.26 on Wednesday in Globex and ridden that all the way up to 32.50? This system didn't get out of that short until right here. So it got in the long position. Globex open on Christmas evening, Christmas Day night, at right around 32.26, rode it all the way up here, and got out at 32.50.50. So about 24 handles before it got out of the position. We specifically set these algos up so that they're fast enough to get you in at the optimal time, but they're slow enough so they're not getting whipped in and out. You didn't want to be getting whipped in and out all the way up here. So it got in that long position, stayed long all the way up here. 24 handles later, it flipped short. Now, I don't know how much we're going to get out of the short, and that's why in a market like this, it is so important to have these algorithmic pivots, these horizontal lines, so you know where to take profits. Imagine that we didn't take a partial profit here. Well, a couple minutes later, you've given back more than half of that trade. And that's what the institutional algos are designed to do. You think you've got a profitable trade, and before you know it, they take most of it, sometimes all of it away. And the whole time you're in a position that works, you've got the anxiety of trying to figure out, do I take profits here? Do I take it there? Do I give it a little bit of time? There is no guesswork. As we say, no gimmicks, no guesswork, just math. So you're in the short, you take a partial profit. So if you're trading a 3 lot, you take a third of it off right here. You've booked 12 handles, and then let's see what it does here. If ES comes back up and takes out, what does that look like, about 32.47.48, so basically a tick or two under 32.48. If it takes that out and you see a higher high, well, then you need to take profit on the rest of your position and see what it does up here. But it's completely mechanical. There's no guesswork whatsoever. And it's very, very simple because you're seeing this on a live chart. And we also have a Slack channel. And in the Slack channel, I'm in there all day long posting commentary, posting charts. So we walk you right through this. But as to the algorithms itself, these are the most sophisticated algorithms that are available for individual traders. And as I've said many times, I'll put these algorithms up against anything that any of the institutions have any day of the week. If you like more information about our systems, you can go to mercurysignals.com. That's signals with an S. And you can also sign up for our next free webinar, which is tomorrow, Saturday the 28th at 1 p.m. Just go to our website, and at the top of the page, click webinars. It'll take you right to the webinar registration page. You do need to register for it. There's still a pretty good amount of seating, but that'll tighten up towards the end of the day today. And there will be more webinars. We'll have some more webinars posted early next week, but the next one is Saturday the 28th at 1 p.m. And again, this is Mark Anthony with Mercury Time Price Analytics. We thank you so much for your time. If you have any suggestions on how we can improve our service or these videos, please let me know. But we thank you for your time. God bless you. Have a wonderful day, and stay in touch.